Okay, how should I share this link with you guys? Okay, chat. I am very sorry, lah. Already 45 minutes wasted on this. I've already shared the link with you guys on the YouTube. Please join over there. I think after this, I will just continue. I'm not going to wait anymore. I'm very sorry. And if anybody cannot follow, I will try to get the session again scheduled for a future. So I'm going to exit from the Google Meet. I've shared with you guys the YouTube link. Can I get confirmation from any one person? 1 minute, 1 minute. Let me just double confirm that one also. Yeah, I got to share the screen. Okay. It says I can share the screen here. I'm sharing the. Can you guys see my screen? I think so. You can see my. Is it? Okay, okay. All right. So we'll just take it from there. So thank you so much for everyone. I will just disconnect from Google. Okay, obviously, under such circumstances here, yeah, we can still chat here. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our session on AI skills for HR in 2026. This is an introduction session. We are basically going to share with you how to use AI for our day to day operation in HR. So, for that, I'm going to share now my screen. Share my screen. I hope you guys can see my screen now clearly without a disturbance. If it is so, all right. How are you going to answer me? I don't know. Never mind. Let's just look at this. So, what did I ask? I asked with ChatGPT, list me things to show for AI skills in HR training. Guys, if you have any issues with the session, I think, yeah, you guys can still comment in the chat. Let me just double confirm that one last time before I continue my session. Everyone, the screen is clear? Okay, thank you so much. Screen is clear. We're going to go back, share the screen. Okay, so to cut time, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to share and show you guys how the answer is in Gemini, in Perplexity, in Manners, and every other AI platform that is available out there. You know what? All of them are good. Not none of them are bad. Everything will give you a good answer. In fact, you can go and check in Gemini. You can check in Perplexity. However, for a quick and perfect answer, I always in ChatGPT lah. See, I just asked list me things to show for AI skills in HR training. Very well, he have already given us. You can use AI for recruitment, AI for interview management, AI for employee onboarding, AI for learning and development, AI for performance management, AI for employee engagement. You can use AI for HR communication and also to monitor your policies and documentations. Usually, your employee require additional leave or they need to be provided with a medical support depending on your HR policy and also your employment policy. So all these documents you have in your hand. Again, you can also use AI for workforce analytics, for automation, all these things. Of course, these are advanced level. First, you want to understand using the basics first. Okay, that is for everyone to understand. Next, I'm going to share with all of you all a prompt handbook. This is a prompt handbook I generated. We have about 70 practical copy and use prompts. See, one thing I want you guys to understand when it comes to AI, it's all about you. The person who asking the question, ask the right question, AI can answer you. But the problem is, right, asking the right question is not easy. This is not the right question. create for each task the suitable prompt to be used, be accurate and creative, output as document. Actually, this one okay lah. See, in my case, because I have been using ChatGPT for a very long time, see, this is the context. Create for each task. That means what? Task and above here, a suitable prompt. I want a prompt for to be used. So I cannot be teaching everybody how to analyze employee turnover data by connecting into their database or connecting into their HR. No, we wanted to have a prompt that can help us to do all these things maximum, not minimum. All right. So there you go. I've prepared for you a prompt book. Now, this prompt book, how am I going to share with you guys? That's why to share this whole thing, I have shared with you, I believe, this conversation with you in ChatGPT. So you can just click on the conversation I've shared. Then you can open up this whole thing and you will have this handbook. Okay, what is this handbook is all about? This handbook AI created for me. You see very well, it does create nice ebook and also training material for us, not like last time. So here I'm going to show you what I'm going to show is basically look at this. Okay, we're going to make it smaller over here so that the screen is a little bigger. Everybody can see the screen. I hope you guys can see the screen. I'm sorry, I'm not reading your comments in the chat. I hope there is no interruption during the screen show here. Okay, so what is this is about? For example, you act as an expert. You see, this is a reusable framework formula. How to use this formula for your use? That is the question. Don't worry. That's why first, before we go into using this formula, how to use it for your usage, all these things, pre-use checklist, then you have for recruitment, job description generation, for competency-based job profile. See, all these prompt, you guys can just use it right away. For example, okay, let me just give you an idea. Okay, I'm gonna show you how we're gonna use. Let's say this one is universal prompt. Preferably before you start using anything below, you create this for yourself. Copy this, open up another chat. Okay, stop sharing. Open up another chat. Okay. Okay. You paste that prompt just now. Of course, here I don't have the relevant expert role, or I don't have the clear outcome. I don't have my organization information, audience, business need. All these informations are missing. You see what I'm going to do? I'm going to do very simple thing. Rewrite and transform the prompt for my use. Senang cerita. So the question now is, when I say for my use, alamak, who am I? That is the question. Don't worry. That one I'll come to you in a short while. I'm sure you guys also have given a lot of input into ChatGPT before this. So ChatGPT would have already had some of the informations for you, you see, this is how it actually creates a master prompt for my use. Then later read this and then you further customize it for your niche work. See, this one in my case, okay, let me show you who I am. If I look at the profile for my organization here, you can see this is where you have information about what you do, right? I'm sorry, not this one. Under personalization, here you can see you have a custom instruction. So this instruction, in my case, I made it a little general. Act as my expert in all field business development in training industry. Content creation assistant, you are also a content creation assistant, and marketing automation orchestrator for me. Take a forward thinking view. I don't even put my instructions very detailed or a very long, don't make it very long. Now you know they are charging based on your token, right? So that should be sufficient. And then a little bit more. I'm a content creation director for multiple training providers and colleges in Malaysia, including these companies that I work with: Aksara, JK Tech Solution Training Provider, Maxim Skills Academy. Of course, whoever I work next, I include them. AMI Training Academy, AMI Training Academy, Advanced Innovative, okay, Training, Advanced Innovative Academy. Okay, these are some of the organizations I work with. Also, I manage a few public news portals in Facebook, in LinkedIn. Okay, all right. So at least the AI will understand about you. You act as my assistant in creating content according to respective entity. I'll input all the profile brochure link and other relevant material for you to analyze and research on the gap and suggest optimize along the way. And on top of that, enable memory. This is very important. If you don't have your memory, that's where your next queries and all of those things, there will be a problem. Okay, now basic only I'm telling you. I'm sure you all already done this. You should have done it already lah. If you didn't do it, then you're gonna get a reply which is not relevant to you. So in my scenario, I've already inputted those information. So now the one simple prompt I gave, look at that, what it creates. What did I submitted? I said copied the prompt just now from where I had. I say recreate this entire prompt for my use. That's all I said, right? Okay. Rewrite. Okay. Don't transform. Rewrite the prompt for my use. Maintain the prompt. Okay, now it's a little different. First, what I gave the entire prompt and I said rewrite it by transforming it for my use. Always there's one problem. Whenever I say transform it into my use, usually it does give me a long output like this because like I said, I had always been using ChatGPT extensively. So it is not going to give me an answer very briefly. It always give me in a long manner. Besides, look at this. Now you can see you already have act as a relevant expert role with strong knowledge of industry function, Malaysian context. Your task is to clear outcome or business result context. So similarly, okay, apply for my role in AMI Training Academy. Okay, let me just quickly change this. AMI Training Academy to promote their courses. Okay, so see, this is just a prompt, meaning to say, when it comes to asking a question to ChatGPT, you must transform the prompt I gave you. Now you look at the prompt, how versatile and how clear it is. Remember, I talked to you about context prompting. This is what called context prompting because he is not gonna go beyond the limits and he is not gonna do anything lesser than what is needed to achieve our target. Long already, can you see? But you can see that from the bottom. Act as a senior training industry marketing strategist, business development consultant, digital campaign planner, and AI marketing automation specialist with strong knowledge of the Malaysian training, HR, workforce. Your task is to help me promote the company, blah blah, generate qualified leads, build employer and participant interest, and convert inquiries into registration, corporate collaboration, and funded training opportunity. If you read this alone, you can understand. Hey, I'm already creating an AI agent. If there is an agent which can do all these for me, can you imagine the beauty of it? So this itself is sufficient. Ini pun cukup, but we still provide a little more information complete prompt That's why you have a context. The context is, okay, who are you working for? And then followed by points, what are we going to market and what are we going to sell, right? I know the company, I know my target, I know my program. Next, authoritative input. Use AME Training Academy's approved course brochures, program outlines, official fees, schedules, trainer profile, certification information, funding eligibility, purchaser requirement, promotional materials, website information, approved manage. See, basically, we are not going to invent and hallucinate and create content. No, 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 no. We have already have all these informations, right? So use that for your use. You see, now whatever that we are asking is all chatting. We are not doing any work yet. So during the chat stage itself, authoritative input I have already highlighted. Constraints I have already highlighted. Okay, it is applicable to which environment? Malaysian environment. So who it is to be used for all these usages, and then which tools will I be using to create my automation system, because this is not just a automation step, but it's an entire automation system where I want to produce for each course campaign objective, ideal target audience, customer problem, pain point, training, blah 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 blah, all these things with up to the campaign KPI and measurement framework. In another word, you want to get a referral, you want to upsell, you want to do your product selling, irregardless whether it is for training agency or it is for any other agency. This is mainly I am showing you how are we going to use our prompt. Yeah, one moment. AI skills in HR training. Yeah. So this is the prompt that we've been working on with, right? So here I have created all the prompts for you. How am I going to share the prompts for you? I've already shared the prompts in the chat GPT itself, so you can always download from there. That is one. See, I have the entire list for you. If you want to create for recruitment, this is the master prompt. You only have to do this one time. Once your chat GPT account understands you, and then you copy and use this prompt to give it to the ChatGPT, ask it to transform it into your usage. After that, you can readily use this prompt. Another way of this is actually I copy this prompt, I go to ChatGPT, and like I said, I will just copy and paste, and then I'll tell reuse it for my usage. Of course, beside all of that, remember you also have here project. You also have your folder. So let's say I have like a folder for the company itself, like Amy Academy, right? Like here. One moment. Okay, like here, Amy Academy. Okay. Then you can see you also have other questions you have asked, but again, usually when you create a folder, it's more likely to be used in a co-work environment. That means not just in chat GPT. You go to you go run my online. Okay, I create a new chat. All right, can you see here got the work? The difference between chat and the work, chat you can always ask question as much as you want. Work is where the the AI will work for you. So here, one of the important things to do is make sure you have your project folder created. For example, this is for HR. So I'm going to create a project folder for HR AI tasks. I'm just going to call this HR AI task. Okay. Mm, so I'm going to pick up this AI for, let's just create a folder, new folder, AI skills for HR. Okay, select the folder, create the project. Okay, now we have a workspace to from. What do I need to put inside that particular folder? Something I got to put lah. Don't have it empty, right? So obviously, what I'm gonna have inside of this is um, we just now we were here. So I'm gonna hands-on AI for TNA. I've created the for training managers and also for training TNA preparation for your organization. You can also have that along the way later. So I'm just going to put it inside here, number one. Number two, preferably if you are HR of the organization, you need to have your company profile. Get me your company profile. There you go. I have my AI skills for HR training prompt handbook already downloaded here. That's good. I'm going to bring that into hands-on AI. Okay. AI skills for HR training prompt handbook. Okay. So when we have already included the content inside this folder, now I can work with it much more better. Okay. Analyze my folder. I am creating notes for AI skills in HR. Draft me a complete tutorial with proper examples to follow. Okay, you see now what we are doing is we are telling the system to analyze my folder. I'm creating a rules. If possible, just add the file straight from here also can lah. Right, you can also add like this. I'm not saying you cannot. We are looking at AI skills for HR. AI skills for HR training prompt. Okay. Sometimes the fella misses it lah. So pandai lah you cari how to pass it to the chat GPT. Okay, I'm just gonna drag and drop. Okay. Analyze my folder or my file, whichever or file. I am creating notes for AI skills in HR. Draft me a complete tutorial with proper examples to follow. That's it. Now, this is a little different than your normal chatting. Here we can also create a website. We can also create our presentation slides and everything else along the way we will do. Because the AI is working for me. Can you see? It's not like I'm asking a question and an answer. No, I want the AI to do work for me. In fact, we will see a couple more extra things that AI can today do for us in Microsoft Word, in Excel, in PowerPoint, and everywhere else as well, right? Okay, so now we have seen this. It's going to take some time because we are not in chat mode. We are in a work mode. In work mode, AI has to do some work at the background. Basically, what did you ask? I wanted to create some handbook, right? So it is creating the handbook. Thinking. The materials are strong. The handbook supplies a broad prompt library and responsible use note. The checklist supplies the end-to-end TNA rule. The slide deck supplies a practical 3-hour workshop flow. I'm consolidating these into a one learner journey. Diagnose, design, develop, deliver, and evaluate with exercises, model prompts, sample outputs, and review checks. That means, you know what? I now can create a toolkit for any one of you guys. But I need to know a little more on your background, on your organization. You give me your website address is enough. I know from your website what your company does. That should be already sufficient for us to have a functional HR to work for. Okay, now, so far, what we are doing is we are actually talking and asking questions. I haven't gone into creating an agent for replacing my HR. That is, of course, if you are doing it, that will be next level. My Google, you can create gems. ChatGPT, we can also create. If you remember, you need to have a paid version though. You will have create GPT, like the one at the bottom here. These are all GPTs which has their own custom task to do. But you see, that is where we are now moving away from. Like I think in next couple of weeks of a time, in fact, the current release of ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, in particular, if you notice, all of them, they're throwing away all these, GPTs, and they're throwing away all these skills because, yeah, see, all these like a gimmick lah. The first level is like, okay, I'm going to give you HR agent to work for you. But, it's not as easy as, I can just plug in any HR agent and then let the HR agent to do the entire work for me completely by itself. That is not very possible until and unless you test it, you try it, you got to train it over and over again. But to a certain extent, if you guys can notice, already pretty good lah. They already come to like about more than 70% accurate. But still there is 30% of mistakes that they do, which is where the scary thing is. Those of you guys who have enabled AI, Meta AI in your WhatsApp, you know what I mean. No doubt, the Meta AI agent in my WhatsApp answers to any query coming in. Sometimes the fella picks up some of the answers from the previous conversations, which has already been ended, but then bundle it together and reply, hey, no, lad, this program already finished already. Why are you talking about that? How am I going to fine tune my AI? Of course, we are doing that along the way. But when you do like that, that takes a lot of time and then a lot of fine tuning. So who's going to run my operation? Who's going to run my company? That is the problem that we are facing. So don't worry, we are in that direction. So at the current moment now, you don't need to be highly technical. See what I did? I did a very simple thing. Analyze my folder. I gave my handbook. I have two levels of handbook. This is the first level handbook. Of course, for those of you guys who already used the first one, then you can go for my second level handbook lah. The second level handbook here. Okay, the second level handbook. First one is AI skills for HR. Create another one this time. Include samples with focusing on other topics in HR, mostly relevant to Malaysian market. So that means the first one that I requested for it to create was, remember what it is all about. This is all about the AI HR things. AI for recruitment, AI for interview, AI for employee onboarding, learning and development, performance KPI, employee engagement, HR communication policy, workforce analytics, automation, and these things, right? But there are also others. Why not include all of those others? That's where, okay, after preparing the first handbook, I told, but this time I wanted to focus on Malaysian market. Why? Some things that we have in Malaysia, other countries don't have. ChatGPT is not from Malaysia, it's a global product. So it's going to give you mostly US based answers. So it is best from time to time after preparing the first draft to localize it to our use. So here, if you look at it, okay, now basically in this part two, basically I requested another 80 to 100 prompts, but this time these prompts are focusing on employers, especially from manufacturing sector, shared services sector, logistics, electronics, automotive, food manufacturers, and SMEs in Malaysia. Now you can see we have already you see, the HR questions are almost the same across the board. However, there are slight differences for individual industry, right? So if later when you do this, you gotta mention, do it only for my company. My company does on manufacturing of children food, let's say. Or I'm working for R&B does Racket at Beckenshire. We are only providing products from this particular company. So you got to limit your where you're coming from. So here, Basically, 80 to 100 advanced prompts each. So you have objective, when to use it, Malaysian context, reusable prompt templates, manufacturing company examples, and then expected AI output, advanced prompt tips, and it gives you a chapter flow. So if I look at the chapter flow, okay, that's very nice here. A little extra than what we had earlier. Beside the AI workforce planning, talent acquisition, competency mapping. There you go. We also have foreign worker management. Malaysia have a lot of foreign workers, and then we also have a lot of compliance. Malaysia got all these compliance you must follow. Okay, salary benchmarking, that's something that we still have to wait. Like, we don't have any national standard, but individual companies may have their own. Okay, so here you go. So after it had already prepared the outline, I'm happy. So I say, don't just prepare as ebook like just now. Why? Because the previous ebook, if you remember, I showed. Hold on. The previous ebook that I showed. I'm, no lah. I wanted to make sure you do not waste a lot of your time. You have come so far. Let us make sure that we at least get some skills. Yeah. Okay. Come back, guys. I understand. I understand your comments. We will follow through those things along the way. Okay. Where are we? Just now, we looked at the AI skills. So I've showed you this. So what I told the AI to do is create me a book, not just a workbook, but with a little bit of infographic. So he created for me an infographic. Look at the infographic first. Let's see the infographic, how it created. This is for Malaysia, AI HR training part 2 for Malaysia market. So what it does, prepared. Okay, it gave you a nice how to use prompt for your usage. Just now I told you. I gave you the final prompt where the prompt already included the role, the context, the task, the data, the guardrails, and the output. But in case if you are creating your own prompt, keep these in your mind. But if you don't keep, also never mind. So here we have all the prompts how we can use for your, let's say, for manpower gap analysis. So you can copy this prompt. Of course, before you give this to the chat GPT, make sure your company information, your existing manpower gap report is all available, and then share it together. Okay. So here you can see this is a next type of ChatGPT prompt usage, how we can use for your day-to-day operations. Okay, second part. Now I'm going to go into the third part. The third part is basically we want to have a PowerPoint slide deck where we can create a presentation slide for this. There you go. Here also we have one created by ChatGPT. I'm sure you guys know ChatGPT also can now create PowerPoint slides. Besides ChatGPT, later I'm going to show you another one more tool where we can use to create our slides in a much better manner. Okay, now I've already got one. I'll show you the slide in a moment. Well, I've already shared with you guys the chat, so you can always open from your phone or from your side as well. Okay, next, yeah. See, the first, the one earlier, what we did, we created the PowerPoint. Now we are looking at the infographic. This infographic is a little different than your PowerPoint. Why? Here you can see it is not just talking about it is not just talking about okay, it's not talking about AI skills for HR in general, but this is in particularly for Malaysian manufacturing. So with the link that I shared with you guys earlier, you can always go and open it on your chat GPT live from there. Okay. Okay. So here, this is very interesting. I wanted to share with you guys, and I want to show you guys this much better way. But uh, for now, using YouTube, this is the best I can open up, or else I have to see if I can share the entire screen. Give me a minute, lah. Okay. Next, we are looking at employee recruitment journey. All these will be shared in our WhatsApp group, and also in our Teams, and also I will also put it as a link in our YouTube channel later on for you guys to view. Now it's 3:20. We have another 1.5 hour, 1 hour time. Okay, let's go in. So this one is basically for recruitment journey, and if you can see here again, nice lah. You create one for yourself, keep it for your company, and you don't have to explain to all employees manually one by one, but they would be able to understand much better if they have something like this in infographic manner, which tells them that workforce planning, job design, sourcing, screening, interview and assessment, selection, offer and onboarding, and overboarding, all these parts. Okay. All right. So next, I requested it to create one in particularly for automation. See, earlier we did the prompt. Second, we looked at the things that we want to do. Yeah, many of us don't understand when we look at the prompt and the given picture, I mean, the given output, how it translates to. Now you see how it translates in a more graphical manner. So you're going to create HR AI agent ecosystem. This is where you're going to be working on. So to do this, I will show you a couple of different easy techniques. One of them is, of course, is ChatGPT, because I look at ChatGPT, it works all the time for everybody. Another technique, you can use Notebook LM, you can use Perplexity, you can use Gemini. You know what? Any other tool, all will work the same. Okay. All right. So next one is for employment contracts. Today, if you look at Malaysia, when it comes to employment contract, the employee needs, I mean, the contract has to be stamped if you have any employment contract. So that is also already nicely, depicted here. And then again, next move on into a full toolkit. This is a 30-page toolkit I've created for you guys, where inside this toolkit, what you get to see, basically, this is a HRAI operating system. It's not just enabling AI with HR, but trying to convert your entire HR process into AI readiness. So here you can get this to run through with your organization, or you can pick up these prompts and then customize it for your usage lah. All right, so that's another that we have actually have worked on. Okay, now we have so far looked at various different HR prompts. Okay, give me a minute, I'm gonna share my screen with the PowerPoint slides in a minute. Okay, we have okay. What I'm going to show you for creating a adoption guide for HR usage using AI. Of course, to do this, we are going to use a tool called Gamma. Gamma is basically a presentation tool. HR, whenever we need to create many of our tools, we can always use various different tools. ChatGPT is one of them. Gamma is another one of them. Can you guys see my screen? I hope you guys can see my screen. You guys can see my screen. Okay, this is basically Gamma. Okay, let me just show you how does Gamma work here. Again, Gamma is a presentation tool. We can use Gamma to create website. We can create Gamma to create a presentation. We can use Gamma to create posts for your social media. So let me just go create a new Gamma. Now, again, like all available AI designing tools out there, Gamma also allows you to describe. Okay, let me just go back to my chat GPT. Okay. I want you to create a professional HR AI toolkit. Okay. Create me a professional HR AI toolkit, Malaysian edition. Display all samples, provide use case and sample prompts. Okay, see, this is how today we can create a lot of content automatically. When I get my agent to work on this, what I want a professional HR AI toolkit, Malaysian edition, where it displays. So he already give you an idea. What are the contents that you want to include? Employee recruitment and hiring, employee onboarding, employee performance management, compensation and benefit, employee engagement, labor law. Generally, all these are needed. I'm gonna take all of them together. So let AI do the material slide for me. Of course, if you want it to be a longer deck, that means a longer presentation, you choose much bigger numbers. Then you can specify here how would you want this presentation to appear for you. See, I've already said we just want it for HR manager. It's very straightforward. I don't want to do a lot of things. I'm not a technical guy who's going to spend lots of time onto content writing. No, what I want to prepare is I want to prepare a professional HR AI toolkit, Malaysian edition. First thing I want to see if the content is relevant or not. Okay, there you go. It does create. It does have included some of the content. Why AI for HR in Malaysia? Give it some time lah. He is now actually writing the content for you. Okay. Onboarding problem EPF. Okay. All right. I think it was already created the output. So it's basically on the chapter 1 talks about recruitment and hiring. Then there is a AI use case for us to see, and then a sample prompt. And then for resume screening and shortlisting, again another sample prompt. And then okay, until onboarding employee, slides below won't be generated because no need. We are just gonna continue with this. Let's generate. So when you click on the generate after you checked on the outline, if you are happy with the outline, Gamma will include the content and then prepare a complete presentation deck or a slide or a website or a PDF or whatever you want to call it for your use. Okay, this is I'm showing this because at the first stage Okay, we want to see the content of AI skills to be used in HR. Of course, during the preparation, you might find that some of these, like, out of context or like out of order, meaning to say, lari lah, tak didn't fit in properly lah. Don't worry, he haven't finished yet. Once he finished, then he will rearrange it. And if you don't like the content, you can always ask the agent to regenerate for you that particular slide or that particular wording or maybe that particular context. Today is Friday. Well, we are having a difficulty with number one earlier timing, so I'm so sorry for that. Number two, even now, I'm unable to see your comments or your whatever that you guys are actually typing on the screen. So obviously, the session will be like macam shock sendiri lah. I got to be presenting it and I have to evaluate myself. I'm so sorry for that. Hopefully, on the next session when we do, we will have Microsoft Teams again where you guys can interact. I also can interact. Today, we just migrated to YouTube Live to solve the problem because we don't want to postpone anymore and we don't want to delay the event. So we got to give it another few more minutes for this to continue as I have requested it to create multiple slides. Meanwhile, let's take a short break and we'll continue after about 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes, yeah, while this is going on. All right, guys, let's get back into our slide. I understand lah. Some of you guys are basically wanted to have a better full training. Hope you guys can get it elsewhere if you have the options wherever. Okay, now let's share this tab. Okay, you guys can see my screen now. Let's look at what have we generated so far using the AI. Yeah, AI hands-on toolkit. This is actually a toolkit where you can use it, adopt it for your usage. So the adoption gap. First, you need to do a analysis of your existing environment. Tool access isn't a capability. Very important. Everybody have ChatGPT. Everybody have Gemini access. Everybody have Perplexity access. But that doesn't mean that we can already use it. What we wanted to do is a repeatable AI enabled workflow. Okay, so when I talk about a repeatable AI workflow, start with the baseline you can define. First, you must have what you wanted to create, right? So, how do I create what I actually create? They show you a sample. Well, you do prompt with constraints, meaning to say it's not just any prompt where every time whenever we ask a question, we include with the role, task, context, and format. See the role. Why are you doing this? I'm doing this because I am the presenter for the AI skills for HR for this program. Now, the next task. What do you need? What do you need? I need basically demos and also labs and also prompts that my students can reuse in their daily activity as HR. So that is my task. And then the context, like I said, I wanted a Malaysian HR law. And finally, the format. Okay, the format is basically how you want the format to be output. In my case, I've requested it to make it into a document file. It can be output into a PDF. It can also output into a PPT. You know, right? There are a lot of others. Okay, let me just show you this first. Why we are doing this? Again, you get all your other components about no lah. This is not really what we are looking for. But never mind. I just want to show you first how you can create this using the ChatGPT. Now, once you have done this, go click on the share button, export. I'm going to export this as a PDF. Now, why am I exporting this as PDF? Okay, I'll show you now. From demo to repeatable adoption. Okay. Don't worry, guys. Another 45 minutes, we will end the session by 4:30. Before that, I won't drag it until 5 o'clock. And also, we are just going to explore some of the functionalities together. So what we have done, we have already created the PowerPoint slide. That PowerPoint slide is where now you go into ChatGPT. You go into ChatGPT, not any ChatGPT. You go into ChatGPT work. Why? Because ChatGPT work will do the work for you. Now we have already have the outline, we have already have the content. What you need is basically the next output. Give me a minute. So here, basically what we are doing, we are analyzing the folder AI skills for HR training and creating notes for AI skills in HR. Okay. And it will need to include a tutorial with proper examples to follow for my students. So as such, it is now creating the entire workbook together with the exercises, model prompts, sample outputs, and review checks. Give it a minute. Give it a minute. I hope you guys can still see my screen. I don't think so. Screen is in a different screen. Okay, wait a minute. Changing between each of these, I'm going crazy. If I give the entire screen, it goes like this. Then you cannot see my screen properly. Can you see my screen properly? Okay, so basically, we are back again. I was in ChatGPT. I hope you guys can see my screen now. Basically, what we are doing, we are analyzing the folder where, remember just now, this one, I told you guys to use not in the chat, but basically in the work mode. We are now in the work mode of ChatGPT. How do I show you that this is in a work mode? How do I show you? How do I show you? You can see at the bottom here, if you are in a chat mode, the replies will not ask you to do like this, allow once, allow again, like that. If you remember, this is what we have in Codex. This is what we have in other platforms when we have AI agents performing, creating a dashboard, website, right? So now I showed you two platforms. One is ChatGPT, where traditionally, we only ask question, it answers. Actually, no. ChatGPT also can create and can do the work for you, just like other paid software tools out there. Like for example, Gamma. Gamma is a tool that I use to create my slides, my notes, my website, my posts. Why? Because that is one. Okay, now finally it created for me a complete tutorial where this I can share with you guys. You can see here lah. Can you see this has been created real time in front of you now? Huh? Purpose of this checklist, is there a clear legitimate business or learning need? And then do you have all their names and IDs? Prompt engineering for HR. What are the HR seven prompts that they must understand? The role, the context, the task. See, similarly, if you are a, let's say, L&D consultant, what is the context? Maybe your context, you want to get 50% Malaysian SME adoption AI tool. What organization, audience, and need matter? Okay, this is for context of this particular scenario. And the task is to conduct a training need analysis. The input is the manager will interview and anonymize the survey from the employee. The format will be, we might want to have a gap matrix plus recommendation. The quality, measurable, practical, no jargon. And the safety, no invented facts. Mark HR review item. This is something nowadays, latest model of ChatGPT AI LLM models are following the safety, the guardrail. That means we don't want the AI to self-create the content and then throw us something. Okay, so here again another AI skill tutorial complete book which is available for you guys, which I will again share with you guys. Okay, this is the one, right? Later I will I'll share this with you guys, but I can't share now because I'm in ChatGPT work. ChatGPT work, what it does is it keeps all this only with yourself because it is not meant to be shared with others outside of your context. Okay, now let's go back to my AI skills in HR training. Okay, we have seen so far up to here where I've already given you the handbook, and then I've also given you the prompts that we can use for other tasks with the infographics, which will be much much more easier for us to simple to understand for all our AI related tasks with a toolkit. The toolkit also is ready. Okay. Okay. Followed by, actually, what I did, I created a super prompt for website that will teach on AI tips and tricks for HR, AI tips and tricks for HR, as a website. So with the simple prompt of write a super prompt, see, you don't say write me a prompt. If you say write me a prompt, yes, it will write you the prompt. But a super prompt usually is a lot more comprehensive. Some more I put here in a comprehensive way. So if you look at it, the master prompt is build a premium 101 AI tips and tricks for HR, a learning website. So you're going to act as a senior product strategist. Okay, so there's going to be 101 AI tips and tricks for HR. Main objective to deliver structure, 3 hour instructor led course, support self paced learning, and so forth. The website name we can give as 101 AI tips and tricks for HR, and it has a target market, it has its own next component about the website itself. Because now we are creating a website, right? So, this website you can make it into a plain website, you can make it into a designer website. Obviously we all wanted to have a designer website, so this is a designer setting that the chat gpt has proposed with manrope inter dm sans and space vertex typography design, including modern glass morphism, soft gradient, animated visual layer, interactive card movement, semua ada lah. Avoid cartoonish styling, cheap stock template appearance. This one kita nak avoid. Require website structure should be, you should have a home page, and then it continues with the master 101 AI tips that transform HR. So under this again, it does give me all the lists that I wanted to. Until it builds a interactive HR prompt studio for you. So this is another way. If assumingly just now, like I told you, I gave you the PDF, I gave you the document where you can pick up whichever task that you want to perform, whether you want to do interviewing or selecting or you want to do a short listing, you can just pick up any of those prompts, apply it for your use case, depending on your scenario. Or you can also create your own prompts using Prompt Studio. So the user should complete the following fields. So based on whoever wants to create it, you want to do it for which level, which role, organization, context, HR, task, input data, guardrails, output format. So if you give all these information, then it will automatically create for you an output with clear role, with a specific context, with defined outcome. Okay, so that's what it is all about. Again, all these things, don't worry. We're not going to do ourselves. I'm going to get the AI to do it. So how does this happens is the question. So you can see here, we are looking a comprehensive AI skills for HR, corporate training section, your admin dashboard. You also have to have an admin dashboard where we can basically this is for a website that teaches on AI skills on HR lah. So yeah, again, yes, it also have to have its own search and navigation, personal. Basically, this entire, can you see the entire file? It's about for me to copy and paste into either Cursor, Claude, or you can also copy and paste into Codex. Okay, lagi senang. Let me just go up. So I'm going to show you a little bit of this because this also will be useful for you guys to start applying in your environment. Panjang, of course, because I want to create a complete website for this 101 AI tips and tricks. So Let's see how fast it can do for me. Copy. Now you here, after you copy this, you go into a new chat. You can also bring it up from here, but I'm just gonna, if I want to do it from here, lah, let's say you want to do it from here, go all the way down. Can you see here got branch option? So let's go branch. Not really lah. Actually, what I wanted was new chat, work, and then copy and paste that particular master prompt which we have created earlier for the website. Design, create, what do you call? Yeah, okay. Create the site, create the website as per prompt attached. Okay. So now we are giving the task for the AI to take the outline that we have prepared for the website and build it into a website that later on we can publish to online or share with people lah. Okay, what it basically gonna do, remember just now what I requested. I requested it to basically to continuously enrich my prompts and also create suitable prompts for my use. So any of you guys later on, once the site is ready, can log in. You can also use it lah for your usage. So that is what I'm trying to do. But of course, this will take a very long time. Usually around 2 hours minimum, 1 to 2 hours, and usually about 40 minutes lah. The first draft will be ready within about 30 to 40 minutes, and then after that fine tune again, check it again, then check it again. So it can go on for a couple of hours. However, don't worry, what will be the final output I will share with you guys in the group later. Okay, that's on how are we going to create the prompts that we're going to use for HR in our day-to-day operations. Now, without the user interaction, I am stopping it over here. Wait, may I download the website required packages so I can build and preview it? Yes, go. See, under the work mode, the AI agent, the AI is performing task. So when it is performing task, you need to give the AI all the rights. Last time we used to use Codex, we used to use VS Code, GitHub Code. I also used to use Cursor. Oh, Cursor. But of course, under those platforms, one of the interesting part is that if I don't know what it is all about, I just want it to complete it. Just do it for me. I don't know what it is about. You can just talk to it like an old man, tell the system to complete the website. After that, you can go and test it, and then you can go and see whether it's working or not. Of course, today with ChatGPT itself can do this whole thing for you. Last time, if I do this between ChatGPT and Cursor, ChatGPT and Lovable, ChatGPT and another platform, the difference is in ChatGPT, everything you must specify. Like where is the database, where is the connector, where is the API, where is the website link, everything you must mention. Otherwise, it will just create a bogus website which looks nice, but when you click, it doesn't respond or reply. That's why Cursor, Lovable, and all these other platforms are famous because why they do a complete system, meaning after I create the site onto these platforms, if there is anything missing, I have a button where it says click continue. Suppose it should take me to the next page. If it doesn't, you can tell, it can immediately fix it for you. So those are the advantages of those platforms. But again, today, you know what? Not necessarily I must go into Cursor, Lovable, other. These are paid tools, right? Today, Kimi can do for you. Kimi K3 can do this thing for you. ChatGPT can do for you. Cursor can do for you. I mean, even Gemini, of course, like I said, in Gemini, okay, while this one is going on, in Gemini, what exactly I want to show you is basically here you see, you go and create gems. Can you see on the left here? We have gems. Okay, what is this gems? Gems is AI agent by Google. You can create a new marketing website. You can create a new storybook. You can create a new whatever lah. Or I've also created a gem for my use. See, I'm gonna show you. Create a new gem. Then I'm gonna call this as my Amy Career Concierge. What is this? This is basically the one that I working on with Amy Career Concierge assist in assisting assist retrenched workers to get back to work again. Okay lah. Let's say lah, I just put like that. You can have some customized instruction for my Amy Career Concierge. Again, this thing also I'll go and ask ChatGPT to create for me lah. Like, okay. Write me the instruction for Google Gem on Amy Career Concierge helping retrenched to get back to work. Okay, so I want an instruction for Google Gems, right? We have already come to Google Gems, so I need to give it a little. You can just type like, you are my sales manager, you are my HR. You can always, specify as such as well. Well, we just take it from Google. Only problem sometimes Google can be ChatGPT can be very lengthy. Very lengthy. Right. That's where sometimes check on this. If they have any limits here, they don't have any limits, then never mind. Then I'm just gonna do. Nowadays, whatever I ask, ChatGPT like to write the whole book. It's not just answering straight questions. Write briefly. Okay. Don't write very long. Now it's 4 o'clock. Another 15 minutes. I'll come to the end, guys. I'm sorry I can't see you guys. I don't know what you guys are typing over. So I'm just going through from here. Okay, I think this will be good enough. Okay, copy your Amy Career Concierge, AI Career Recovery Assistant for retrenched and replaced displaced workers in Malaysia. Your mission is to help candidates move from blah blah blah, act as this for every candidate, understand their role, where blah blah, your best next step, what to do now, what to prepare, what Amy. This is I'm creating for, in this case, Amy Career Concierge lah. Of course, if you are doing it for your HR role, just change it for HR role. Okay, not a problem. Okay, come back here. All right. Now, is there any other tools that we're gonna connect with? you can connect Gemini notebook. If you have a notebook, very nice. So I am gonna to connect, might as well just have a notebook on this particular topic. So I'm going to create a new notebook for this. Let me just show you how I do this. I'm creating for any career concierge. Okay, creating a new notebook. I'm going to call this. Go back to ChatGPT. ChatGPT first. I'm going to download this one first. Wait, I'm going to download. Um, this one I can just copy and paste. This is the one, the big one. The big one, download. Markdown document. No, not Markdown. Markdown document is used for your skills. So let's just download as a Microsoft Word. ME Career Concierge. Okay, save one. Second, then we have this one at the bottom. Okay, this one we already copied. So now I'm just going back to ME. Okay, upload a file. We did download that Career Concierge file. Okay. Let's upload that. Then I'm going to also add my URL of my website, because it needs to know about your nature of service and business that you are doing, you see. meacademy.edu.my. Insert. So this will allow for this particular notebook to go and read this content. Of course, if you have whatever other relevant information that you want to give to this ME Career Concierge, also bring it in. Like, for example, I also have my posters and brochures, the programs, the programs. So, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, these are my programs. Okay, I include these. See, what does this will allow me to do eventually is when I create like this, right? ME Career Concierge. It's actually a notebook. In this notebook, I put all the relevant informations. And then after all these things has been, actually can create a lot of things here. You can create infographic. You can create let's say an infographic like this, and you can create a mind map. You can create a mind map out of your content. You can get a slide deck out of your content. All these are generated using your content. Just click, 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 click. Let AI to do. Same thing you are doing in ChatGPT. The only difference here, you must type lah. Write me a proposal, write me a PowerPoint, write me a document, and so forth. Okay, so we have seen this. Same thing I've also showed you in Gamma. What is the difference here? Gamma, it designs and then creates the entire content for you. Okay, we have seen Gamma, we have seen ChatGPT, we have seen GEMS. Okay, let's go back to ChatGPT. What we are actually going to go and look, I don't know. Let's go into GEMS, GEMS. So now here, GEMS, what we're going to do, add files for GEMS for reference. ME Career Concierge instruction. Add files for your gem. Can I add from Gemini notebook? There you go. If you create your gem using Google like this, right? Save this. Start the chat with ME Career Concierge. Now you can share this Career Concierge to other people, or publish in a website or have it available for your employees to ask question with. So now this one, let me just say hi. What courses do you offer? See, just like an HR, you can always put in all your HR related document into the Google Notebook, your employee handbook, your agreement, your offer letters, or whatever documents relevant with HR. See here, in another word, basically, after creating the gem, we can start interacting with the gem. So I asked the gem, hi. I just say hi. You say, welcome to Amy Career Concierge. I'm here to help you plan your career comeback. Identify suitable jobs, strengthen your profile, explore retraining opportunity, retrenchment, initial career recovery assessment, career background, career transition goals, current status and support. Okay, this is what it's going to do. Your best next step is what to do now. Give me your CV, what to prepare, or what can we help you. Okay, so you can see now I've just created one working model and I ask the question, what courses do you offer? Now, remember on the knowledge notebook LM, we already included the courses just now. So by right, Gem should be able to read the content and then answer me. Yeah, there you go. You got it correctly. Business Analytics Foundation, BA 1010, Data Science Foundation, DS 2010, Artificial Intelligence. See, where do I get all these things from just now? Remember? There you go. Here, Business Analytics Foundation, Certified AI Practitioner. See, I didn't train anything, right? What we did, we just dumped all those content and then mentioned here that you are going to become my AME career concierge or AI career recovery assistant. That's it. And he can take it over from here. Where is he going to take it over from here? Sorry, over here. So with that, all my courses now comes into life. You see, we are not just using it to answer to query. We can also use gem to become our research assistant. If let's assume I create another gem. Okay, I'm just gonna go and create another gem now. What is this gem? Gem is like your agent. If you look at like Microsoft, they have Copilot. You can create Copilot agent. Like in Chat GPT also we got Chat GPT, the GPTs. So if you wanted to create the same thing in Chat GPT, then you would do it in GPT lah. The thing is, can also lah, which is also doable. You create a new GPT, or if you want to know a sample HR human resource sample GPT, which is available, an expert in human resource, go and search for one. There you go. You have Pocket HR, human resource advisor, human resource. These are all Pocket HR will be good one. Okay, is a GPT powered HR partner at your fingertip. So here again, similar. You can start chat with this particular GPT or this particular, we call GPT in Chat GPT, we call Gem in Gemini, and similarly different names elsewhere lah. So I can say, give me the standard HR policy. So you can already interact. But this GPT is different than your own personal GPT. This is a general GPT. This is a standard GPT. So of course, please provide a country, state, okay. I can draft a standard HR policy employee handbook. Okay. I am Amy Training Academy from Malaysia. Check my website. So if I give it my information, like where do I get these things from? Amy Academy, amyacademy.edu.my. If I, okay, like for example, right, I give you the context. I am Amy Training Academy from Malaysia. Check my website lah. So with that, he will help me to create my what? My pocket HR, standard HR policy for my company. I'm sure you guys already have. For those of you guys where in your organization your written HR policy is missing or is not available, just create a new one lah. Every now and then update it with the latest of your standards. Otherwise, your employee gonna complain. So it's gonna review AME Training website, understand your organization, service, and likely workforce context. Then it will tailor the HR policy according to our Malaysian operation. So with this, I will get my HR policy that I can share to my user. Or no need to share. After you create this policy, put it into your gems. So what you're gonna do, you just going to share not everything. You are going to share only the, you see this what do you call macam like this lah, aksara gem. Okay, I can share, connect, it'll give me the link, copy the link, done. Okay, now I can go and share back to everyone. Let's say I'm sharing in Teams again. Okay, some of you guys asking, must buy for does any of these that I'm showing is using paid version or free version? I use free version. Of course, sometimes I do take paid version, but no need to take all the time. When you really need to do an extensive amount of work, then only you do. So, okay, I was able to verify. There you go. He is now preparing a human resource policy for my organization. Then check lah if this is relevant for your organization. Are you providing similar support and similar, like probation is for how long? If you want to have how many hours of work hour for your organization, what is your overtime, additional hours, salary, statutory, minimum salary, all the mandatory contributions, annual leaves, sick and hospitalization leave, maternity, public holidays, work arrangements, your professional conduct, trainer instructors' responsibilities. This is for college environment because AME is a training academy. Of course, it is going to include the trainer and instructor responsibility as a part of the employee responsibility. But if you're a manufacturing, if you're coming from health and other industry, then you will have your own respective content. Of course, we also want to include the harassment, bullying, and sexual harassment as part of HR policy, confidentiality, personal data protection, information, conflict of interest, dress code, performance management, grievance procedure, misconduct and disciplinary action, resignation and termination, foreign employees, policy amendment, employee up to everything with employee acknowledgement. So now what do you have? You already have a complete uh, employee HR handbook. HR policy. This one is HR policy. Okay. Write me HR handbook for my employees. With this, now you also will get, first you had HR policy kit, HR guideline. Now you have for employee handbook, HR handbook for employees. Employee handbook, yeah, what our employee can and cannot do. All right, so I've showed you guys how to create your website, your presentation, your handbook, your gems or agents that can help you with this 3 hours. And also we lost first half an hour, the last half an hour. This is the much I can show you guys. Don't worry guys, we will conduct another one more session, but the next session I will record these together for you guys to view again. Okay, with that I am ending the session for today because this is actually a live. I do not want to drag it on for 3 hours. 1.5 hours is good enough. And keep in touch if there's anybody needs any assistance after this, we will catch up. Okay. Thank you so much for everyone to joining in. Keep connected via WhatsApp channel. That is where I'll be sharing much of these informations and then also other contents. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we will be rescheduling this training one more time. Training will be rescheduled, but rescheduling we will be doing in Microsoft Teams, yeah, so that I can have interaction with you guys. Reschedule will be available. I give you my word on that. And thank you so much for everyone's participation and attendance. I'm so sorry if it didn't serve your full expectation. With the WhatsApp channel, okay, let me just share with you guys the WhatsApp channel. Just keep in connected using the WhatsApp channel. It'll be easier lah. And connect via the WhatsApp channel. Then from the WhatsApp channel, I will share you the Telegram link where all these documents that we so far have created, I'll put them into. So you can also take it up from there. And I'm so sorry if you do not get full attention and understanding on the program. Don't worry, you can always WhatsApp me and you can always talk to us, and as much as we can we will help you guys. Okay, so thank you so much for everyone's time and attendance. Don't worry, it's already recorded in the number one, the recording, and number two is also in my Teams. So those of you guys who have attended the event, just go into the Teams and can you just put me your email address on the Teams message chat. I will take that as your attendance. Can? Thank you. Yeah, everybody will get a certificate from National Training Week. I will create another video for that for you guys to go and follow through how to download those as well. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.